Hello. My God. This always makes me feel like I need to start doing radio or something.
You should.
Dude.
You have a great mind.
Thanks, man.
That's why I like talking to you.
Thanks, man. You too. Honestly.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Huh. Actually and honesty are the same thing. Well, not
yeah,
entirely.
I was like, not really.
Entirely.
Not really.
Because that wasn't my intent. My intent was just to land a little bit more on the... No, bro. Like, for real. You have a good mind. Even going off the dedication and the work ethic that you've definitely done for all of these years. It's like, huh, this guy really likes to work.
I do. I think it's just because I found things that I like, though. It's not really so much that I like work itself, because thankfully I only had one job prior to working for myself. Mm-hmm. And that job was cool until I really got to see the politics aspect of it, and which is shitty because I feel that the politics aspect of things tends to ruin most environments.
Where'd you work?
I worked at Pier 1 Imports. I worked at Pier 1 Imports from October of 2014 all the way to literally October of 2015. I did one straight year. For 6 months, I was a part-time employee, but I would max out my hours. So I was working 30 hours a week, and then after 6 months, they wanted me to be a supervisor because I was the one doing all the stockroom coordination. I was like managing the stockroom pretty much and accepting all of the fucking boxes off of the giant trucks, like all the inventory, and putting it out on the floor. Mm-hmm. That's where I worked beforehand. The environment was pretty cool. It got bad when we got to Christmas time, and it got bad because the other supervisor that got hired with me, because 2 spots opened, she had a hard time completing her tasks, and she would ask me for help, and I would always tell her, I'll help you if I can get all my tasks finished. And the first time I got all my tasks finished and I was able to help her out, and then the next quarter, same thing, but now we were getting all of the Christmas stuff, and she asked for my help, and I said, okay, if I can finish my stuff, I'll help you, but if I can't, like, sorry, that's on you, you gotta figure it out. Unfortunately, I barely finished my stuff before, like, the manager meeting with our district manager. Oh yeah, this is in. You want us in?
This is nicotine?
Yeah.
What's that do?
So you know, like the little head buzz that you get from smoking?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. But if you don't do nicotine often, I would say, like, leave it in for a couple minutes and then pull it out. I'll do one with you if you want.
Do you just get a hair buzz?
A little bit. If you do too much, you'll feel not good.
When in Rome.
True. So I finished all of my shit right before the manager meeting, and they start with her, and she goes, oh, well, I got all this stuff done, and then I wasn't able to this didn't get finished, and I asked Eric to do it. And then the district manager was like, Eric, do you have anything to say? And I was like, yes. First of all, I'd like to start with, those are not my tasks. That is not in my job description. Second of all, she did ask for my help, and I informed her that if I could get all of my tasks done and I had extra time, then I would help her, because that's the way a team works. But unfortunately, I got all of my tasks done today before the meeting started. You can even see here on my reports, and I handed everything over to her. She looks through everything, and then she goes, okay, good job. She gives it back to me, and she looks back at the other manager, and she goes, so can you tell me why you weren't able to complete these tasks? And I was like, fuck.
Wait. So she asked you again?
No, she looked back at the girl, but as soon as she asked the girl, she looked like, the girl, instead of answering the question, looked back at me like, you fucking asshole. Like, you straight up threw me under the bus.
But didn't she throw you under the bus?
Yes. And then that started a whole thing where she would go and start talking shit to the employees about me, and then if I had people that were her friends working on one of my shifts, they wouldn't fucking sell and they would like fuck off. So it would look like my numbers were bad.
Oh, she got everybody on her side.
Yeah, and it just wasn't a good time anymore.
Yeah.
And then that's when Alex was like, how much are you making? I said X, and he goes, I'll pay you that, and I'll give you a set schedule. And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Working less and I'm making the same.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I was like, love it.
Yeah, that's tight. Good for you.
Yeah,
and like that shit sucks. I work with a woman who just does not like me. Legitimately, randomly, bro. Randomly. Everything was cool. I offered her coffee.
Oh, that's where you fucked up.
Yeah,
She likes tea.
Yeah,
you should have known.
I should have known, bro.
Should have known.
The very next day after giving her coffee, I'm like, "Hi, how's it going?" Maybe I'm tripping. You know, maybe I missed it. Hey. Okay, cool. Cool. What? When did we get? Okay, cool.
Just fucking blinking at you. Like, bitch, I don't speak Morse code. I'm sorry.
Like, you acknowledge me, but then you look away real quick and like a dismissive look, as if like to take your eyes away for a meaning. Mm-hmm. You can only do that. The workplace is a great place to have that type of politics, because I live with family. We don't always talk, but when we don't, it's like I can still feel your eyes dodging. It's not exactly like
you're not trying to meet me at eye level. Something's off. Because usually it's like you look at me or you like make a face or like fucking
something.
There's
like
some
that.
type of interaction.
Something like that.
Some acknowledgement or just like.
This one was like an intentional. I acknowledge you, but I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
When did we get here? Right. So then over the course of a few like months and all this stuff, she's not really talking and all of this good shit. So I'm like, okay, hey, I can now tell that you don't like me, for sure. I don't like you now. I fuck you. Right.
Two could play the game. Right?
Fuck you, dude.
Two could play the game.
And then she talks shit on me in front of some women. I was wearing a tank top, and
hot or not hot?
She looks good. I mean, she's thick. She's big.
What about the other women that she was talking shit to?
No, I mean, not really. These are older women. These are all like 40-year-old. You know, they have a lot of body fat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing a tank top at work, and I'm walking over to the playground to go check on the kids. And then one of the women's like, "Oh, look at that lifeguard. Are we recording?" One of the other women.
Okay, I can start it.
No, fuck it. We're going with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually we get a.
If she ever sees this, then she sees it, and this is something that just happened. Whatever. Yeah. One of the other women was like, lifeguard. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, look at that. Okay, cool. Muscles popping. Okay. And then she's like, come on, he gonna save us. She said that.
Yeah.
Right. Like 3 women.
Yeah.
Black woman. I don't know what ethnicity the other woman is. And then the woman who doesn't like me, she's like, him? Save us? Have you seen his work? And I was like, what does that mean? Dead. Like, I'm not.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah. What do you mean?
What about my work?
What exactly? So I'm like, what does that mean? The black woman tries to diffuse it a little bit, and then they started talking about I'm an intellectual. My connection with my sister, how twins have a mind connection. And then they're like, oh, yeah, it's a twin. And then how's his sister? And then she kind of like jumps onto that. But it's like, oh, that's much better. And then one of the other one looks at me like, I'm actually, no, not even with that much tension in my face, like a call out. It's more of a, this isn't about you. So I was like, stay out of this. Because she just insulted me right now. And as if I was going to go along with it. What the fuck? No. And then very casually, all right, see ya. And I went on to the other side of the playground. So your story about this woman talking mess or being an asshole I can relate to, but it's also one of those things where it's like, I mean, that's your character for sure. If you want to be like that, why the hell would I play into that? I'm starting to get a lot more of other people's characters, and it's helping me because I'm having my own character and something that's been very, what's the word? Beneficial to how I interact with people. It's just like, okay, hey, that's you. Yeah. I don't have to change myself, and I can actually actively dislike it. When I was younger, I would always want to like everybody. I was like, no, why? Bro, this is way too hard. That's way too hard.
You're making it difficult for me to be around you.
Dude, yeah.
Be better,
hey, man, maybe she misheard something you said and thought you called her a slur.
That is valid. That is valid. And maybe ever since then, she was like, fuck this guy.
Something about the way you gave her that coffee, dude. I'm pretty sure.
It has to be that, dude.
You put too much cream in her coffee. That's what it was.
That is funny. Cheers.
Cheers. You want to do an upper decky or a little fucking lower deck? Apparently the upper
I don't know anything about this, bro.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
About to drop acid or something.
I actually dipped these in PCP.
I just looked. I thought this was a mint. I thought this was
Cue
a
Pink
mint,
Floyd, please.
bro. Oh god.
No, it's a little nicotine pouch. So
sure.
you're just gonna take it and just stick it like right in there.
Will my lip fall off right now?
100%. It's gonna start burning. You're gonna get a hole, and then you're gonna be like, fucking. What's that one song? I forget how it goes, but like, my life was ever died behind you. I don't know, just like all the emos, because you get a fucking hole and then you'll have to plug it with something. Yeah. Yeah.
And my joy will be my joy when I will die for you.
Yeah, there you go. Like, here again. Yeah. Your hair will immediately just fucking bang out. Yeah. It's not a progression. It doesn't just like, you don't like grow into an emo. You just like wake up fully emoed up one day. I'm pretty sure that's how it happens.
That makes sense. Yeah. Your wrists are just slit one day. It's like, okay, no, this is good. This is good.
Horizontally, though. You wake up vertically, you're a little fucked.
No, you're not waking up that day.
Yeah, someone just standing over you with the blade, just like, ha.
That is some dark shit.
Yeah.
Tattoos, man. I see. Oh, but do you want to like introduce or anything? Do we have to do that? Or do
We don't, but we totally can.
It's up to you. Do you normally introduce, or do you just kind of like?
We just kind of go.
Oh fuck yeah. Okay. Yeah. So tattoos. How many do you have?
What about that's always an interesting question because, technically speaking, this is all one. But it's a large piece. So I have my whole left arm. I have my right arm is the progress of a gauntlet, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces on it. I have one on my
You're going to
right
make
leg.
your arm a gauntlet?
Yes. So it's working towards a right sleeve, but a gauntlet basically just comes up to the elbow. So you don't think of like the armor in video games, like a gauntlet. Is
Yeah.
I
thought it was okay, this shit is starting to feel.
Yeah. Then you'll move it to the opposite side so it doesn't just like destroy one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's that time.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. And then at a certain point we'll pull it out so that we don't die.
I don't pull out.
Okay.
I do pull out.
There's a trash can over there.
Good. See, bad jokes already.
Can
you drink with this in your mouth?
Probably. You can smoke with it. Bro, chicks suck dick within their mouth.
I can see it's like a minty.
Here's a little manipulation tactic for you. You can either chew nicotine gum or put a Zyn pouch in your mouth before, like a couple minutes before you go to kiss your girlfriend, like the first time you see her. You'll kiss her, that swap, that exchange of spit. She'll get like nicotine hit, and it'll boost her endorphins, and she'll think it's from kissing you.
We should just not record that.
No, 100% we're recording this.
That should just not be.
You can create an addiction of somebody for somebody.
If Roofie Eric comes out years later, I have no association with him.
Roofie Eric.
All right.
No, it's okay. Look, the Eric name already got exactly the Eric name already got slandered. Diddy's first name was Eric, so I'm good. I'm in the clear. I missed that already.
Spelled the same way?
Nah, he got just C. I guess maybe I'm still, maybe.
Okay. No, you're good. No, you're
okay,
good. You're separated. All those other guys are fucked now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they come after a long legacy of.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
Yeah, honestly.
It burns my mouth.
Fuck them anyway. They couldn't commit to the full K. They just went for the C.
True. You know what? I think we pulled it out at the perfect time. Do you feel it kind of like kicking in? That like
yeah, a little bit. Honestly.
Try that for you.
I got it. Kobe.
Ooh. Hey, you know what? That's not Kobe though, because you made it and Kobe didn't. Hey yo. I fucking landed that one, didn't I?
Unlike the pilot.
Hey yo, zingers!
You said you're the pilot?
No, he said unlike the pilot.
Unlike the pilot.
Like I landed the joke, but he didn't land the plane.
You guys are horrible.
You guys
That's funny. No, but for sure, yeah, it does feel like a little bit something's happening.
Yeah, this is like where I like to get rid of it. This is like
transforming.
Yeah. Actually, so, this would be fun to do with you. Actually, a little zen like that, a couple minutes before a workout is supposed to be fucking like yinching one. It would actually be fun before spike ball. That'd be lit.
That
Maybe.
seems hard, bro. Because now I feel woozy.
Right? We're in the same place. All right, you want to level it out? This is my drug of choice.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here, but actually, you know what? I rolled just a nice little fatty. Spark it up, please. You're my guest.
God, I feel woozy. I told you, bro. Just a disclaimer. Wow. Oh God.
Yeah, depending. So we can, if you want, we can just get like real close and give her like an ASMR.
Smooth jams.
You want to make some jams?
Later on, no.
Oh,
but
dude,
just a disclaimer.
We got a little.
Is that a
little
beatbox?
Synth? Yes, a little synth and a sonogram. Stylophone, my bad. I'll take the stylophone. You take the little beatbox.
For sure. Just a disclaimer. If I get high, like normally when I get high and I smoke,
I know how it goes.
Yeah,
I know
for sure.
Wrong side. Wrong side.
You're the fucking wrong side, dude. You don't know how to smoke weed, all right? Everybody smokes from this side.
Smoke the crunch first. Bro, I said wrong side. You didn't flip it. I had to go louder. I was like, yo, wrong. What are you doing? Flip it.
What are you doing?
You'll ruin it.
Did you notice him move the lighter to the other side of the
Did I do that? No, bro. I got this.
I got it, bro. No.
Oh, dude, it's the nicotine, man.
It really is. That shit packs a punch. So that is that's 6 milligrams of quick ingesting. We have soldiers overseas that are fucking doing 2 up top and 2 down bottom, and they're out there just fucking manning a turret on top of a fucking
And that's called tolerance.
Bruh.
Oh, this is weird.
Now let's get weird. I'm gonna pull out the roll of tinfoil. We're gonna make ourselves some hats, and we're gonna get deep.
Dude, I haven't had alien talk in a while, but I was actually just thinking about that. Like, I haven't been challenging like philosophical thoughts.
Why?
Like I used to. I just haven't been in that mode of like.
Oh, that means it's time.
Maybe. But I used to do that a lot when I was younger, and I started thinking about. It's super interesting. Go ahead.
Thank you.
That part of my brain has not been as activated as like lately. I've just been thinking about America. Been diving into
the beautiful. Sorry, keep going.
You're beautiful.
No, you said America. You said thinking about America, and I was like, the beautiful
and gracious skies.
Yeah, sorry. It's the little ADHD and probably a hint of tism in there. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
So you've been thinking about America and the political and economic state of the world,
and not even the world. Mainly.
Okay. You haven't been Jaden Smith in it.
What's that?
Because he goes, I hate talking to people that are my age, because I'm like, bro, can't we just talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now? You're just talking about like fucking TikToks.
Oh,
it was a very funny clip for a while, and people were memeing on him like, dude, it's not that serious, chill.
I got you.
So yeah,
no,
memes are flying, bro. I'm sorry, my bad.
Just basically how fucked the American system fucked African American people.
Oh, 100%.
When they created mindsets into race, saying that a group of people are superior to another people simply by the color of their skin.
Yeah.
And then how we have services for people who have autism. And then we can, similar to how you were talking about the doctor, it used to piss me off. About 2 months ago, I was very mad. But now I'm like emerging from my madness with the help of Attack on Titan, because I'm like, oh no, that's bad. Genocide and hate are actually bad. You should still hopefully want to live a life where you can embrace people and be happy. So all of the anger that I'm feeling, I'm like, okay, fucking white people, the evil white people, who's the fucking enemy? All of that stuff doesn't exactly get you where you want, because connection is still good. But I dislike the similar how you were talking about the doctor and how he said your trauma is inspired by something that happened in your childhood. We have services.
Your tendencies.
We have services for people who have one generation, just their lived generation of trauma that they have been going through. And then we say, yes, the reason why you're like this is because your dad was an alcoholic. We can link that. So when we think about African Americans, and then there's people like Ben Shapiro who says, well, it's actually your culture. In one of his interviews, he says it's basically your culture that is responsible for why you guys act like this. It's like, no, bro. That's it. It's legitimately evil that was done to these people, and that's why they interact. That's why they do the things that they do.
Yeah, there's been systemic oppression specifically on your race from the moment they were put on the boat, even to currently now, and the communities that were built for them were also built to fail.
Built to fail, destroyed, and then when there was prosperous communities, they would find reasons to do that, all out of hate and all out of this evilness. But the most fucked up part that pisses me off is when people destroyed the natural connection that goes into people's eyes. It doesn't always happen. Dehumanizing, absolutely. It doesn't always happen. But when you recognize somebody, you see them, sometimes you'll see them, I guess depending on your own mental state, you'll lock back in. But if you are somebody who feels lesser than somebody, that lock-in is more difficult to hold and keep for yourself. And these people literally came up with systems where if there's an African-American walking down the street and a white person walking down the street, they're expected to yield their body and autonomy to another human.
Yeah.
Evil.
So I think even this goes to plantation owners, and this also goes to like genetic coding, where looking people in the eyes, there's something that happens when you look down genetically and DNA wise. It's like you're submitting. So it also produces negative emotions and chemicals in your mind. So you start to think less of yourself as
Absolutely.
well.
Similar to
So
like
for years of having plantation owners go, don't look at me, look down. So let's say 3 generations prior to you, you're used to looking down. That's almost ingrained now into your coding.
Yes.
Where you have this almost urge.
Yes.
Let me ask, do you just have like did you have an inherent thought, okay, it was never like somebody taught you like, this is a white person, you cross the street or you act a certain way when you see them?
I think it was a cultural thing at that point, like a lived family kind of expectations with the movies that I watched with the people that was around to kind of be weary of white people and then like understand that there was a difference between us, and then that they had once ruled us, but now there's some of them that are good. I was actually more on the side of like, hey, some of them are trying to make the good. So let me be forgiveful about the people who insult me on a racial basis, because, you know, they're not trying to
we give them the opportunity to redeem themselves.
Give them the opportunity, but, you know, that's a grace that I have to automatically take on, when instead you would imagine that because there are services for people who have trauma, the people who have power, who've held power for a long time, would then have to say, no, fuck that. We have a little bit more room in our trauma that anybody's going to experience for us to carry the burden. Why should the person who's already affected carry the burden? That's like when people blame the victim of domestic violence. You should have ran away a long time ago, or you should have beat his ass. He shouldn't have hit you.
Yeah.
The rapist shouldn't have raped the person. You shouldn't have warned that. No, they should not have gotten raped.
Yeah,
bro.
They shouldn't have wanted to pursue those actions, or if they had feelings of rape, or another big one is pedophilia, because people say like that's not something that you can control, that they're just like fucking attracted to it, whatever. Like if you know that's the thing, there should be places where you can seek for help. I concluded right now while you were saying that. I think the problem is we're categorizing people instead of just saying humans, because from what I'm hearing, it's like, okay, we're looking at the black community and this is their problem. They can fix it. And we're over here and we're giving them money and they can't fix it. Instead of like, we need to help our fellow humans be in a better environment where they have access to mental health, food, clean water, good housing.
Yeah.
And it's not based off of what you look like. It's just you're a human and you're here and you're literally part of our tribe. Like we're all Americans.
Yeah, I think the categorizing people is definitely what allowed for people to want to say I'm on a side, and then when those sides got really hard to be separated from, it's like, why would I go help the people in Palestine when I'm an American? I have my own problems. And then white people are like, well, why would I go help these African Americans when I'm white? But the one thing that just bothers me, and I know I'm getting redundant, if I know that certain things attribute to human experiences, then anybody facing these forms of trauma would need some form of help. So when it comes to like reparations or anything like that, you would imagine that these people would be affected in a certain manner. So I don't know. It's just bugged me for a minute. What about you? What have you been thinking of besides your game goal orientation?
What's the best way to say it? Well, that's the first way it comes to mind is emotional control. Not in the sense of like I lash out a lot, but there is certain areas that I can improve, and I react instead of observing, really processing what's happening, being said, and acting in the best way to move forward for, again, the goal. So oftentimes it's easiest to go off of the first thing that pops into your mind in an occurrence. Somebody said something to me. Okay. Somebody said something to me that I didn't like, and it's just brain goes, say this. Mm-hmm. Instead of, if I say this, it might elicit a response from them that might escalate a situation instead of try and achieve a solution. Mm-hmm. You know, because
you seem like a really solution-oriented person, though. So is that like a thought that you've been having of late, or because I feel like
I just came to that. So again, it was brought to my attention that I was struggling in this specific area, mm-hmm. And so I said there's in certain aspects. So I guess to lay it out a little more, learning a skill. I haven't been doing it for very long, though I've made a lot of progress and I'm very good at it. There's still things that I don't fully understand and don't know how to achieve. And sometimes the first word I'm presented with is criticism. So it's very easy for me to be defensive because I'm still in a very early learning.
To be fair, the person you're talking about is not the best at giving criticism. So it does come across, a lot of it does come across more of like an attack on the effort rather than as constructive criticism, like this is bad, rather than, hey, this could be better.
Yeah. I think that's super important because people like to say you're too sensitive or I'm too sensitive. I've heard that. And it irritates me because I feel like if you're trying to talk to somebody, I don't know what happens to other people, and it might happen to everybody. But when I get upset from people criticizing me or talking to me in a certain way, it's like, why did you never change your voice? Yeah. If I talk to you like this over and over, eventually you're going to start getting mad, right? It's because in your voice, you're talking to me in an angry fashion. Now, if you appreciate me and if you know how to ride a wavelength, then you'll be able to yield that voice a little bit. Usually that happens to me when an older brother or my father, mainly those two. And I'm like, oh, I imagine it's because you're my older brother, so you want to teach me in this manner. I've told you several times that my body does not absorb that information. Yeah. So fucking bro talking to me and the other way, don't talk to me at all. Yeah. That's what I've been getting closer to with my distaste for a lot of things. But yeah.
For me, I look at it as an opportunity for me to better myself, because if I cannot change them and I have to work with them, mm-hmm. I have no option. Let's just say, for example, I have no option. I cannot change the circumstance. Mm-hmm. Then I can make peace, accept the circumstance, and then take it as an opportunity for me to become a better person.
I agree.
So that's the way that I see it. But I also see your side of it where there needs to be, it's like a seesaw, you know. It's not 100% on me to take everything. There is an opposite side of the way that you're approaching a situation also dictates something. With that being said, so I'm also working on that as well, because sometimes, and this I didn't know, it took for somebody to tell me, there's some days where the tone that I'm just carrying is not good. But also, and it fucking sucks because I hate excuses, but like I am missing a foot, so some days I'm just really fucking uncomfortable, and like each step hurts, and I'm walking back and forth to get information, and I got like, you gave me the wrong information, so now I have to come back to you and talk to you, and so like I'm just uncomfortable already. So it's not that like I'm fucking mad or irritated, it's just like I'm just in pain, and I'm sorry if I sound like a fucking dick, but like that can cause clashes too.
Yeah.
So with that, like I have to learn to regulate my tone as well, even though at that point it's not really like, or yeah, it would be emotional, because pain is pain an emotion, or is that more a feeling? Feelings and emotion are similar but different, right?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that as well. I don't know, but it's something that influences how you.
Pain is a response that your body sends
to
to like basically tell you that you're being damaged.
Like, but we feel pain, right?
Yeah, that's why you feel pain.
So I would think of feeling then.
Yeah.
It's a response.
So it's more a feeling, not an emotion. Because
like
emotion
like a
is
labeled
more
emotion, but it's, emotions can still be a feeling, because like a flutter of happiness right here would still be
shit,
you know,
or like heartbreak. That shit like feels like pain. You know, it feels like somebody's grabbing your heart from the inside and just squeezing it.
Yeah,
feels bad. Here's a question on feelings, and because we're men of, you know, manly men, we got mustaches and facial hair.
This is true.
Yeah. Do feelings exist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Absolutely.
Do you feel like you always have to put them aside to just, or do you feel like you can be very open with your people around you?
I'm getting more
thought on that.
I'm getting more open with the people around me, but I don't always talk to the people in my house. Not like talk. Give them all of my emotions. Give all of me.
Yeah.
I've actually been losing parts of that because I haven't been talking to people. So I know, I'm like, I'm not as expressive, so my emotions are more dormant because they are...
Yeah, something that hasn't been practiced.
Sure, absolutely.
Ultimately, that's what it is. It's like creativity. I came to that conclusion pre-foot because there was a period of time where literally I would call it an hour of creativity. Every day, I would write. I would, if I wasn't writing, I was drawing, or I was literally doing something creative, or I would force myself to just go take pictures with the camera, just something creative. And
how long did you
found,
do that? Sorry,
like 2 months.
Beautiful, dude.
It was like
nice.
2 months, and then I stopped because I started dating and I fell into bad habits, and then I never got back to it. Shame on me. But I guess technically I did get back to it because I started creating in different ways. Nonetheless, to get back to the point, when you're consistent with something and you're working towards it, what I found is in the beginning, it was kind of difficult to like get the wheels going for writing or for looking at something and going, oh, that's interesting. I should take a picture of it like this, or like, oh, I want to draw whatever, fucking a Pegasus in the clouds just because or some shit.
Yeah.
And then as the days went by, that time for me to put pen to paper started to shorten to the point where I was like, man, I can't wait till I get home and it's fucking 7:00 and it's creativity hour, because I already know this idea that I want to keep working on, or fucking whatever. So like it's a muscle essentially. Like emotions, I guess is the tie back, or there was something else. There was another word we were using, but like, your feelings and expressing yourself. Like it's all a practice.
Yes,
it's all a practice. You get better. You get better by doing it. So if you haven't, it makes sense that it's difficult, or it feels like it's dormant.
Absolutely, dude. Good shit. That was really good tie back. Yeah, man. No, it's exactly that. And I like what you said about the practice, because now I've been doing that a lot more myself. And it's like, oh, as long as you put some time towards a craft, you're going to get better. The discomfort that you feel is because you're bad.
It's literally,
You're just bad at it.
Comes because,
So once you practice it for a while and you just keep doing that over and over, then you're going to like, oh, I'm better at this. I'm less mad. I'm less attributing outside of my control to be able to do this to the environment overtaking me. And then anxiety definitely plays a big part into that, at least for me, because I was like, what the fuck is anxiety, bro? That makes no sense.
True.
And then after COVID, not exactly due to COVID, just life circumstances.
Yeah.
I started getting anxiety, a little bit lack of confidence, ability to express myself, and then everything just kind of like started right here. My entire being was just like right here.
Dude, I remember I know that right here in my mind is a conversation we've had at least like 2 to 3 times.
Yeah.
Yes, because we've discussed about anxiety and it feels like it almost chokes you up and you struggle to breathe.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's some real shit, but with practice, it's been getting better. I used to get upset at the thought of getting better.
Why?
Because I always felt like I was good. No, how do I explain this? Getting better in my mental when it felt like I have some certain things to deal with and I want to be able to be, I think, even similar to you, as chill basically in my environments, to download what's happening and not overly be reactive. So having to get better at that was like, oh, what? But I should already be good at this. Why do I have this? Come on.
I see.
Critical.
Yeah. It's very, well, it's a trait of a true artist, I found, over criticism. I think was it Johan who was in the other day, where I was like, you could be showing a piece of artwork to somebody or to a group of people. You'll be at a gallery display and they're like, everything here is amazing. Great job, Emon. Fucking good shit, dude. Everybody, great notes. And the only person that's like, that could have been different is you.
That's cool. I like that.
It's literally me whenever I would show you guys the minis I painted.
Yeah.
So you're the one downing yourself in that scenario.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're overly critical because you aim for perfection. You have an idea of how something wants to be, and if you can't achieve it, then there's a part of you that is always going to feel unfinished.
Mm-hmm.
This is me speaking, at least. And I've found that if you chase trying to finish it or get it to perfect to exactly how your vision is, you'll never get there, because there's always things that you can change, and then you'll look back at it in like a couple of days, in a week, and you're like, I could do this better. Why? Because we're always changing as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting thing that I had to learn specifically with videography, because if I shoot a job today, unless the client has paid me for next day turnaround on the video footage and it was a large event, typically I'm turning in that footage in about 3 to 4 months. So me in 3 months is going to be finalizing everything, but I'm no longer the me that shot everything, though I still had the same vision. I've grown as a person. I've learned things because I've done new projects. So I'm going to get to that work. And even though at the time I went, that was fucking great, I nailed all of my shots. I did everything perfect. I didn't miss a single beat. I'll get back to reviewing footage now, 3 months grown, assuming I've been putting in effort into my craft. And I go, oh man, I see that I could have done this there. I could have done this here.
Mm-hmm.
This is, if I would have done this a little bit better, these 2 shots would have lined up a little bit better. So I'll always be there.
Yeah.
So you have to learn and accept that that's just part of progressing and becoming better, because now I've seen that I can make these changes, and guess what? On my next project, I know that those changes need to happen, or if I shot from this direction, I'd get a better outcome, or whatever it may be.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, because that's the coolest part about being human, dude. Learning and like, oh, I can do this better. And I think it goes back to what you said about taking the relationship that you have where people are giving you criticism, perhaps not in the right voice. It's still a learning opportunity, right? So it's like, okay, well, I can still be better than this. I think diving into hate or diving into anger or diving into anxiety, because now I'm around people and some of them seem anxious, but they're still doing life. When I got anxious, because I was never anxious before, right? When I got anxious, I was like, I'm just not gonna be here. I'm gonna just chill.
Check out.
I'm gone. I do not like this feeling until I get my mind right. I'm not gonna be here. I was like, these other people seem anxious, bro. How are they doing this?
Probably Adderall.
Probably. But I was like, no. They're just going. They're just still going with their traumas, with their life, with things that affect them. I was like, let's do it. Let's go. It's not that bad. And yeah, it's been helpful. So yeah, aiming for perfection. Definitely taking a step back with that when it comes to friends, when it comes to girls, when it comes to projects. I think I want to add a little bit more.
It's good to keep that in there.
Perfection-esque when it comes to projects, but yeah.
I think, okay, do you think perfection can be nailed? Because I do. In projects, in creative projects, I think perfection can be nailed.
How so?
Preparation. So there's a saying, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And I absolutely love that because everything starts in the preparation.
Yeah.
If you don't have everything lined out, you don't know exactly how you're going to execute your plan or your vision, you didn't schedule things out properly, you didn't make sure that you had the right materials, that you didn't get the details necessary, whatever it may be, you missed that one little thing. Well, there you go.
Yeah, because then all the signs that happen, unless you're an instant god, which even with more preparation, you're going to be better than an instant god because you can
you have
foresee
all the information. You're basically the teacher.
Yeah,
you made the test at that point. You know.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, because you're looking at your environment and the things that are happening, those outliers are those external variables that you can't control. If you're saying, okay, this might happen, and I work with kids, so when my kid brain gets activated, I'm like, okay, he's gonna go here. He's walking kind of fast. He's ready to go back to class, but he's still a little angry. His fist is balled. He might throw that toy. Okay, and if I step right here, that works beautifully. But if I'm affected by my anxiety or if I'm just not talking and I'm like, I'm not prepared for shit because I have not planned out what the thoughts are going to happen. So if I'm talking to myself or thinking what's going to happen prior to going to class, everything works better. So yeah, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Yeah, definitely.
On anxiety, the breathing reminded me of a tactic because I know when anxiety oftentimes comes from getting stuck in your head. A lot of the times it's really just you're stuck in your own head. For me, it was, at least. I know that I guess there's trauma triggered anxiety, like you're in a certain situation, it's like, oh my god. But for me, it was more so like I would get lost in my own head. What's happening is you're no longer being present. Now, a really good easy reset for presence is I don't know the exact name for it, but I heard it from Huberman. You inhale through your nose, and then right at the end, one more, and then you do that again. And you just inhale or exhale, and what that's doing is it's overriding the subconscious breathing that's happening. You're basically going into manual breathing, which is present. Now you're in control of your breathing. Okay, you've taken those 2 deep breaths. You felt everything come in, and at that last moment, you got that last open, clear airway. You exit everything out. You're like, okay, cool. You take those deep breaths. You can reset. One thing that I've shared in the past is if you can, remove yourself from the situation that's causing you anxiety or freezing you up. Take your breaths and just bring yourself down to a base level. Everything comes from breathing.
Yeah.
100%. It starts with breathing.
Yeah.
That's why I have the Demon Slayer drawing over there.
Very cool.
Saved my life, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah. So not for some reason, but there's a scientific study that said, I don't know if this is true, when you're in a life or death situation, your brain goes through its entire knowledge to try and find some type of answer to get you out of the situation. So your brain goes into overdrive to find an answer. For me, I knew I was lying on the ground and it was really bad because so the only gap of consciousness I have is I was flying through the air and I just see my helmet spinning and I just hear and then it's black and I'm on the ground looking up going like winded like a motherfucker, and I can't feel anything from like middle of my chest all the way down. And I go, okay, this is really bad. I need to gain control of my breathing and I'm going to be okay. As long as I control my breathing, I'll be fine. And the only thing that I could think of that I ever heard that was when I forget his name.
Tanjiro.
Thank you. I haven't watched it in a while.
I got you.
But Tanjiro gets stabbed or something like that, and the Fire Hashira is like, breathe and stop the bleeding. Yeah. This is the only thing I could think. So I'm like, Demon Slayer saved my life, bro.
Dope, dude, for sure.
So
that's dope.
It does make sense though, because when all of the ambulance and whoever came up and they stopped, they were like, everyone was surprised. They were like, first of all, the fact that you're conscious is wild, and second, that you were just like, fucking cool. Thanks for being here, guys. Like, damn, you're really cutting my shirt. That fucking sucks. But like I was just like super, super calm. They were like, that's wild. But they also told me that's part of the reason that I survived the way that I did, because I was bleeding out. If you don't know, if your vision goes white, that's bad. Seek medical attention fast. When you black out, it's a little bit different. That's usually oxygen deprivation or alcohol. Heyo. Or you got drugged. But white means you're bleeding out. You're losing blood. It's no longer traveling up into your brain and eyes. So right when I started to bleed out, that's when they put the tourniquet on my leg. So because I was able to control my breathing, it stopped my blood from pouring out of my leg long enough for emergency services to come and tie me up.
Yeah, you activated the total concentration breathing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Shout out to Demon Slayer.
Shout out to Demon Slayer.
I was gonna be like, I was like, but I was actually like, it was on like a 0.01, it wasn't even at a 1. Yeah.
It's like when Zenitsu, he was on top of the building after fighting the spider, and he's blacking out, or he's like fading out. He's like, no, I can't give up.
Bro, I like I had blanked on all the fucking names, but the lightning dude, I like that he has okay, I thought so. I was like, I'm pretty sure Zenitsu has just the one lightning flash or some shit, but he's really good at it. And it's lightning flash level 10 or some shit. Everyone is like, something this number 12, fucking move 17, and he's like, move 1 level 35. He's like, okay.
Honestly, this dude was mining ore and only ore. Did you ever play RuneScape?
No,
oh god,
I didn't.
It's like you'll have to create a character, and you can be a knight, a mage, a rage, and then some other shit. They probably added a bunch, but there's people who would just sit there and fucking mine and mine and mine, or fish and fish. Like this, that's all you do.
Bro, you unlocked. You remember the game Full Moon?
No, what's that?
So you remember how we were talking about those freeform games earlier?
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. That was a freeform game that I played. Didn't really have a goal. It was similar to Sims, but it was on Nintendo, and you were little people that would farm. Okay, you would make like a little farm,
sort of like Stardew Valley.
Yeah, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know what that one is.
It's exactly what you're talking about.
That's
you're
cool.
Just little people on the farm.
Yeah, I think of it as like Animal Crossing, but
yep,
less girly.
Stardew Valley was actually inspired by Full Moon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Cool.
There you go. Full moon is the OG. Oh, yo. But yeah, that was cool. I had a little farm with the cow, and I would go fish. I guess back to I've been making goals out of. There was no like goal of you would just like make a farm. I'm gonna catch every fish species in that fucking river.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also another reason I realized that I'm like super goal oriented is we were talking about video games, and I told you I only really have Mario Kart and Smash.
You're trying to get all the trophies.
As soon as I got all the trophies, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Now what? Now what?
No, that's the autism. That's the autism, dude. It's like I just need all of them. I gotta do that.
Might be. Because that was the same for Smash until I unlocked all the characters. I was like, now what? I guess I'll just wait till somebody comes over and fuck them up real quick. Just put the hands on them. Show him what's up. I like those memes where he goes, I beat all my friends. And he's like, oh, okay.
I haven't seen it, but I can definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah? Okay. I'm coming over.
Yeah, I'm coming over. Bro, he goes, the character lineups, the guy goes, you picked Ganondorf? And he was like, yeah, this fool kills people at 40. He's like the best in the game. He goes, I'm going to fuck Pikachu up. That fool dies at like 30.
Oh, my God.
And then the next clip, the guy's just like evil, staring and laughing at him. And Pikachu's just bobbing him in the fucking sky. He goes, I can't get out.
I bet.
Get out.
Yeah.
That's what playing with Ruben is like, actually.
That's what playing with me is like.
Nah.
I mean, you haven't seen. We had even with the little motherfucking little joystick things. I was still putting in work, but we'll have to see, bro. We'll have to see.
I have dual controls now.
Dual controls.
It's fair. Like 2 controls.
Oh, like GameCube.
No, not GameCube. What's up?
GameCube?
Why are you like GameCube controls so much?
Because it's the American way to do it, bro. America might have been fucking up, but it's the American way.
It's a Japanese console.
It doesn't matter, dude. It's American. Right? Anything effective is American. Anything that works is American. Everything else is I don't know.
Shout out to the nukes, huh?
Shout out to bro. That was American as fuck.
Ended the war real quick.
So I'm watching Attack on Titan, right? Little segue. And before I was like, when I was really feeling my anger, I got a tattoo, by the way. That's why I asked you about yours. Yeah, man.
No shit. Sick.
What's that?
It's an astronaut, right?
No, it's an astronaut, bro.
Okay, then hold on. Then it's the thing from Gar's.
Let's go. Yeah. So I got this, and then I was like, I can make this work, man. My mom passed. His mom passed. She still protects him in his sand. That's cool. And it was $50. So
hey, that's lit.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So then I was like, okay, I'm going to get Eren. I'm going to get Eren Yeager. I'm going to get Scar from Full Metal Alchemist. I'm going to get Pain from Naruto. I'm going to get Megatron from Transformers. And all these bad guys who are just evil, but they kind of turn that way from society because I was really in my edgelord shit, right?
Yeah, bro.
This is like 2 months ago. But I was like, okay, I'm upset, but for like a good reason. I feel like all of this hate that I have for these people is for a good reason because the evil that they've done can have to be matched by not necessarily evil, but a justice. Aren't you mad if fucking, who's the dude who ate people?
In what?
Eats people, like it cannibal.
Hannibal Lecter?
Him and then Jeffrey Epstein. No, he's a child rapist, right? Dahmer. Thank you. If
it's Epstein, by the way.
Something Dahmer,
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer. If Jeffrey Dahmer ate your family, you'd be mad. If Jeffrey Dahmer was seen as a hero to somebody, you say that's fucking weird. So people who do evil things should be seen as bad and weird. Yes, for sure. So when these people are saying, well, forgive my grandfather because he was from a different time, so that racist tendency that he has is bad. This is all still aligned with me wanting to get all these tattoos. Fuck your grandfather. Fuck him. Because eating people was bad from a long time ago. So why should I have to forgive he was born in that other time? Fuck your grandfather. He's an evil person. fuck him, and then I hope he dies. I hope all this is the thoughts at the time. I hope that people like that don't get to have opinions and votes and all of these things, because why should I be appreciative if he's literally saying I should be eaten? If we can all agree. And then over the course of spewing all of my hate, I started to get really lost in it. And I was like, you know what? I don't have to be this vindictive. And I don't know if like putting all these people who were mad at the world is going to be the right reminder to have on my body. So now I'm like calming down from all of that. And then finding other ways to connect with people, because while I still think that there is not much forgiveness at people who are going to threaten me, and I'm supposed to say, well, you know, they were raised that way, and I'm okay, but if they're trying to hurt me, are my family, I'm not going to let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's still ways to connect to people, and just going into the hate is not going to work. It's not going to be the best way, because hopefully, we have some control, even with all these advertisements, over our own direction. And community is the thing that actually matters.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I'm losing my point, but somewhere around that.
It's okay. I'm glad you came to the realization that the sleeve was a bad idea of all the characters. Because if you didn't and you were gonna like keep going, I would have weeb shamed you out of it.
Oh wow!
I would have been like, you're gonna lose like 5 cool points, bro.
Oh damn!
100%. I'm so sorry.
Damn, why is that?
Just the tad for just for me. That's just my opinion.
Why?
I guess I'd have to see it ultimately, but the idea of having an anime sleeve on you, I don't know, just in my brain doesn't.
Oh,
fit
I don't
your
give a fuck.
character.
I don't care about that.
I know, but like in my brain doesn't fit your character. And
No?
like, you fucking look so nerdy and weeby now, bro. Like
I don't care. I'll take that, bro. I will. I will take that.
There was. Oh, there we go. Got it. So, remember how we talked about light towers a long time ago? We were on the beach. Light towers. Light towers, like how friends are like little beacons. You can like almost see them in space.
Mm-hmm.
So, you like me are somebody that is a powerful force in your world, whether you know it or not. And if you lean too far one way, eventually you get lost in it. Now, just like Star Wars, the Jedis, there's good and bad. Ultimately, if you go to biblical, there's God and the devil, there's good and evil, right? There's light and dark. So if you want to progress in life and you want to make a change for other people, the best way is to change the things directly around you. And if presented with an opportunity where you interact with a person that in normal circumstances you would have never crossed paths with, going back to the opportunities, you have an opportunity to inspire them to think about how to live their life in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
So you become that light and you bring them out of whatever darkness they might be in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, absolutely. I think that's beautiful.
It's tough, though.
Especially as we get older and we get more traumatized and we don't choose the path. It is tough. But it's so much cooler. It's so much cooler, dude. I think now that I'm healing, I'm starting to see more opportunities of healing. And I'm like, oh, that feels so much better. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm in pain, bro. What? That's so interesting. So spewing hate, but it still irks me, man. It still irks me because now I'm thinking about it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because
you're going to be like the Hulk, you know, where your secret to your success is that you're angry all the time.
It would be just turned into conviction because there's still something to be done to address other people who have a similar mindset as myself, right? I've evolved to now recognize my anger, recognize that there's roots that tie into this, right? people who have a similar demographic, age, that are also male, all of these things that I've experienced, and then giving that message over, just like, hey, it's still gonna feel better to express yourself rather than just, I'm gonna go kill everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of those intrusive thoughts that you should just chuckle at and play out in your head, and then move on with your day. Makes the world a better place. But yeah. I get you. There's things that now.
Not that I'm planning on killing anybody or school shooting or any that. Please, I don't know. How do I say? There's ways to manage the anger, and there's people who are not a part of your anger. So taking it out on everybody is the wrong thing. My bad. I had to kill that. I started figuring out like why thoughts lead to all of these thoughts, and started to see like the whole justice aspect. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good.
But like,
scary how easy it is to go to that dark place, huh?
It's scary how easy it is to go to that dark place, especially for people who have a blatant disregard for your life, or the people who are like you. It's like, how could you even turn so evil? I don't understand. Like, you're getting feedback from people's eyes, and it turned into a fetish. If anything, it turned into a fetish. Like, oh, that feels so good. Look at you submitting.
So
I'm supposed to have forgiveness. You have traumatized your own life so much that now you're fetishizing. You feel me? Like it feels good to be in that power position.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
supposed to.
And I'm
you excited me a little bit. That was wild. You went a little too up with that one.
I'm supposed to figure out how to make this good. And that's some shit.
You said the answer though. They've traumatized themselves or their parents. Because ultimately, there's a reason that they are the way that they are. Right?
Yeah, no, there is.
They came from their environment. So, which is, it's fucked up because that saying is like, well, they're from a different time and that's just the way that they are. Though it's true, they're also probably not moving consciously, and they're just fixed in moving through life in a autopilot subconscious way, basically like almost blacked out all the time, like the most NPCs of NPCs.
You think that's what white people are experiencing?
I think that's what like heavily racist people are experiencing, people that aren't open to new ideas. And
good clarification, thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, white people. You know,
I mean, no,
white folks do be racism.
I do. No, I'll double down with what you said. Heavily racist people, I guess, like embedded into their mindset. Yeah,
they've known that for so long. They were probably a 3-year-old kid, and they were around their parents.
Yeah,
being racist.
Yeah,
and whether they knew it or not, they were already starting to pick that up. So they would just see a person and go, "I don't like you."
Mm-hmm. Now, the question is that it's always of who threw the first rock, right? Because
I'd like to chime in here. I have the answer. They arrived with the boat.
I'm saying it always boils down the whole forgiveness. I agree.
Okay. I was like, wait, is that the wrong answer?
No, you're totally right.
Okay.
You're totally right. But then some people can say, well, Africans were selling Africans in Africa at that same time. Africans were
For
actually,
real?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, no
Africans
shit.
were enslaving other Africans, but these are just people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's two ways you can take that argument.
Back to categorizing, huh?
Yeah, because black people wasn't a thing. Black people was invented to raise up people of a fair complexion, so that they were saying, hey, this is why slavery is okay. That's essentially the reason. Mm-hmm. But it still goes back to who threw the first rock when it comes into forgiveness and understanding people's history, because I'm going to just spit. Hopefully this goes. If Europeans hurt African Americans and then created systems and all of these other fucked up things, but that's just the way that the world was, because slavery was a very broad thing, then why should we be mad at the way that the world was when that's just how things were? So the people who grew up from a 3-year-old and who are still racist now, like, we can all just learn to let them have their own opinions and move on. Maybe. But if they were so racist and so NPC that they stuck in those ways and then came to my house to hurt me or my family, how can I let that move on or not feel threatened? Am I expected to die and not retaliate because I'm learning forgiveness? And that's with watching UFC, with now doing boxing, with now talking to the woman at work and defending myself more. I'm seeing more and more. It's like, why would I ever let somebody punch me in the face?
Yeah, there's no reason to.
I can't figure it out, bro. I can't figure it out. If you're trying to hurt me, why should I just take it? There might be a better solution than hurting a smaller person, a woman, any of those things, a kid who's having a tantrum. I understand all of that, but there still should be like no, this is not okay. So who threw the first rock, and then how do we acknowledge that? How do we come to terms with that? And then how do I say, hey, we all got to get together because Jeffrey Dahmer's a bad person. The person who threw the first rock is still a bad person. The person who thinks that throwing the rock right now isn't okay because the other society was raised like that, that's not good. No, it's not good. No, because you would be mad if I did that to you. So let's just say that's bad and we can unite together. You disagree? Fuck you.
Yeah. So first, there needs to be that agreement that this is bad. And then forgiveness can only be given once something has happened. So how you're saying, like, what are you expected to do if they come to your house to try and hurt you and your family? Well, there is no forgiving there. At that point, it's up to you to observe and act based off of what you see, believe, and what you feel is going to be the best for your better interest in the outcome. If there isn't an understanding between the two parties, then unfortunately you can't move forward together, which is the biggest problem. Forgiveness personally for me is simple, but it's dealing with the things that come after forgiveness that's difficult. Because the damage has already been done, and now you're trying to work to repair things that have happened. And the worst part is you're not exactly sure of everything that has happened. I don't know if that makes sense to you. In my personal life, I've experienced where I think, okay, this is the main problem. I fix it, and then a couple weeks go by, and then boom, I figure out something else that's still related to this. And I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing that I had.
Yeah, because your environment's still changing. Your other people are changing, and they're going through their own thing. So trying to like reconfigure it and lock on. It's like, like I was saying earlier, every now and then you'll lock in. You'll get back in with that other person, and it's like, okay, cool, we're right here. That's so cool. That's so cool. But oftentimes it's just, thank you, that was slow. Hey, how was your day? It was pretty good. That's great. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Okay, yeah, and it's cool. And even as we're separating and getting further apart, we're still kind of locked into our magnetism until it breaks. And it's like, and it just doesn't feel. That's where that sentence stops. It just doesn't feel.
Yes. That almost leads into a simulation thought, because it makes me think of like we're friends, but for like 2-3 months we were non-existent to each other.
True.
Right. So like it makes me think about that. It's very similar to, and then the simulation theory is when they're not in your, or would say when they're not in your direct environment, they're non-existent. Technically outside there is no driveway, there is no other houses. Until we open the door, then they will all populate. So until I was supposed to come back into your life, I didn't exist.
That's trippy.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, isn't it?
Did you explore that for a while, or did you?
I've pondered all of the theories of life.
Okay, give me one.
I like so I've always liked multi-universe, but that one is the one that's like hit the fucking realist, no pun intended, because I lost my foot, so it legit felt like I was thrown into a different universe, you know, and it was split second, right? Like I didn't die. It was like Rick and Morty. I fucked up on a mission and I had to find a universe that was like, but there wasn't one where it was exactly me and I was perfect. The only one that was close enough, I was missing a foot. So like I just popped into that one, you know. But there's also hella other universes where like one I died, one I fucking lost all 4 limbs, one I was a vegetable, you know.
That is a beautiful perspective. That is funny.
Yeah.
That's
So I think about that every once in a while. I'll look at my brother and I'm like, hey, are you my brother? He's like, are you fucking retarded? And I'm like, yeah, you're my real brother. All right. All right, cool.
You're sure you're not brother B?
Yeah.
You're not brother B, bro?
He asked me, one time he asked me, he's like, why do you keep asking me that? And I'm like, oh, because sometimes I feel like maybe I'm in a different universe and I'm waiting for the wrong answer. And I'm like, you fucked up. The coding was off here.
They're like, take him now. He knows too much.
Oh, dude. I feel like that too many times.
Oh, yeah?
You want to talk about JFK?
I'll down. Do you want to light that?
I mean, I could roll another one.
Please.
But yes, I will light this. It's got a little bit left. It's got just a little bit left.
Just a little bit left.
I'm with Emon, and his mind is the best.
And my mind is the best, but I got Eric, and he's here.
He's here.
And he's here, and he knows quite a lot.
Thanks. They call me Eric the No.
Eric the No.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You remember that?
Starting the music early.
No.
Oh, so in high school, I don't always know, but when I know, you know?
I can see that, yeah.
Eric the No.
No, I can definitely
That's
see
how
that.
Sebastian and Justin would introduce me to new people.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
For a while, that was the thing. It's got a couple last puffs if you want to finish that bad boy up. And then
Gotcha.
roll us a new boy.
Appreciate it.
Let's see. Universes, that's a fun one. Oh, dude, I went really fucking deep into like the do you know what Gaia is?
Like the Earth.
The streaming yes, the Earth, but like the streaming platform.
I
Gaia.
think I've heard of it, but I don't really know much about it.
So for a period of time, me and Alex were watching. I forget what the program was called, but we were watching something on Gaia, and it was explaining a lot of wild shit. But it's basically talking about how how basically aliens, all of the depictions of ancient writings say sky people, and one of the brothers was able to communicate with. There was like 2 gods in particular, and one of them was able to communicate with humans, and one wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, he was supposed to go down and be like the bridge between God and man,
Sure.
Which is really similar to biblical depiction of Lucifer. Lucifer was supposed to be the bridge between human and God.
Wow.
Which is why Lucifer was made as the most beautiful angel, and he is depicted most similar to a human because he was made to be to look like a human, to not
Sure. Yeah, it's
like,
not like,
scare
oh God,
them or
what the hell are you?
anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Antihuzi's back to the other one. The dude that comes down, I forget his name, but he looks like a lizard, which is wild, right? Reptilians.
Okay.
Okay.
My third eye's opening.
Hell yeah. What about your brown eye?
All right.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
We're
Okay.
good now.
I
There
mean,
we
the
go. We're
roofie Eric, bro. I don't know.
good. Don't do that to me. Don't do that. I have never
All right.
once
So Eric the No.
acquired roofies.
Eric the No. Eric the No. Not a roofie Eric. I got you.
That's so funny.
Oh man.
Some of the funniest things are also some of the most horrible. really are. It's okay though.
It's when people are like, you can't make a joke out of anything. Watch me.
I go challenge accepted.
My brother had me smell like a napkin, and he didn't ask. He was like, "Hey, what is this? Like, what the fuck?" I was like, "You'd be really good using chloroform, bro."
He just came behind you. What does it smell like?
Yeah, yeah, dude. I was like, "Oh
god." That's funny. Lizard people. So, homeboy would come down and he would talk to the humans, and this is why. Okay, I started reading the Bible. I should give you this information because it's necessary. Now that I'm starting to recall all of this information, it's very similar to the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. I think that's right.
That sounds right.
Yeah, thanks. So the lizard dude, aka the serpent Lucifer, talks to the humans and gives them knowledge that they're not supposed to have. What does the serpent do?
The knowledge of the tree is
exactly does basically the same thing. Convinces her to eat the fruit to have the knowledge of life or whatever.
Mm-hmm. This is all about Gaia.
So the serpent, that's all biblical. That's in Genesis. That's in the book of Genesis. This is the first part of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, the lizard dude that comes down from his brother and whatever, that's in Gaia. And this is like Egyptian hieroglyphics. Which is kind of fucking weird, right? So
it's like these hieroglyphics already had the serpents on them? Like this is real?
Yes.
So it's a connection.
This is how
between
they found it. Yeah. So there's it was also saying something like they were farming humans.
So they raised them like cattle?
Pretty much. And that's the reason they gave them certain technological, we'll say, advances, or showed them certain technological advances like irrigation. And that's also why...
What sign did they have of that? Sorry for interrupting.
Sign they had for what? I'm sorry.
Them raising humans. How did they know they were raising humans?
Oh, that was just what they thought because of the way that they would have them set up in the civilizations and stuff. I also it's also like a little fuzzy for me because this is, first of all, back in my 2-footed days, but I was like 22, 22, 23, so 5-6 years ago.
I got you. I wonder, how do you link that, the aliens raising humans for cattle work and
so
like in the hieroglyphics and the pictures?
Maybe not so much raising them to use the humans per se, but they were using the humans to acquire a specific material from here is the speculation that they were getting at.
Is it ancient civilizations?
No, I have seen Ancient Civilizations, but it's a different one off of Gaia. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, so like the pyramids were supposedly supposed to be more of like the pyramids in Egypt were supposed to be like a generator of power of sorts, and they believe it was to power something for an otherworldly place, and it wasn't to provide power to the Egyptian empire.
Like in Transformers?
Sure.
Have you seen Transformers?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When they're when they're trying to get the pyramids activated to be like a beacon to bring home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you would wiki.
Nice.
Thanks. Welcome back to another ASMR portion of the Eric Daniel podcast. The Eric Daniel CC. My apologies. Okay, that is all.
These are good microphones.
Thanks, dude. That's where I spent most of the money. Oh,
That's wild.
yeah. So my thought was this would be the whole idea is not only a podcast studio, but also like where we could create voiceovers for cartoons or like animated shorts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it'd be super fun.
That could be fun.
So there is a podcast idea that I would like to implement into the podcast, because you know how like there's Pianos in Paris, and that's like its own little like sub series. So I wanted to do Writer's Room, where
That's
we
really
just
cool.
like get together and make little short stories,
Yeah.
and then we'll just do like a quick little table read.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, Daniel can be narrator, and then we'll all just pick voices.
I'm down. I mean,
That would be fun, you know.
we could create characters. I'm actually super interested in like learning how to do a backstory for our characters. So,
What do you mean in how to do it?
like, develop all of their motivations.
This is very okay. I apologize. My brain goes as very simple, but I feel like that could be a dick thing to say, because in my brain it's simple, but I've also just thought in story for the entirety of my existence.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was a small child, I would take action figures and I was plotting out scenes and playing out stories. Like I was directing everything, you know. I was playing out the dialogue and all that shit. And I knew the characters and like where they came from. Like I had Mega Man, but Mega Man was fighting a fucking Bionicle. Those are two worlds that would like never come together. But in my mind, Mega Man had a completely different backstory than whatever the Mega Man cartoon was, because I had created a world where he existed with basically Toy Story, right? Like I had my own fucking Toy Story.
I was happy.
I was.
No, but
this is a wild moment for me. I'm just realizing this.
No,
I never watched Toy Story.
That's
now I have to.
I think that's dope.
It was a lot of fun. It's really cool.
I wrote a couple stories, but I don't think I've ever expanded my stories past one person directly with multiple backgrounds, and then having all of those worlds collide. That's something that's I keep talking. That's something that's super cool. So when you do it, do you still do that now to a degree?
Yes. So back to shout out to Johan, because this is the second time I've brought up his pod.
Johan from Mayfair?
Yeah.
No way.
I did a pod with Johan
Johannet?
earlier. Yeah, Johan.
Yeah,
Shout out
dude.
to Johannet.
What up, bro?
I was telling him about some feature films that I'm working on. And in these films, there's multiple characters and there's backstories and like motivation and all this shit. Like they have their own fucking traumas and all this bullshit and the reasons of why they are the way they are. So yes, I do still. Getting back to it, I cleaned all the bullshit off my desk. So during that podcast, that's something that I had talked about. I was like, I put them on my desk, and there's a lot of bullshit. So like, because before I tucked away the notebooks, they were like out of mind, out of sight. You know, I was like, I'll work on these later, but they've made it back to on top of the desk.
And on top of the desk is where the shit gets
Where the
done.
magic happens.
Nice,
You know?
beautiful.
Yeah. So that's
good.
nice. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It took some effort because there was a whole pile of unopened mail that I knew wasn't important, but I had to go through anyways.
But also,
on top of it, so
yeah.
I was like, I don't want to fucking touch that.
That's double. That's double the work. So you did the
Exactly.
mail in that?
I did the mail on top, and then I went through my stuff and reorganized, and it was right on top. I set it there, and I was like, cool, now I'm good to... This is what I like to do, since I haven't touched any of my writing in God knows how long. Since my two-footed days, actually. I like to just start from nothing. I just read. Just read what I have. And then usually I found that it'll spark inspiration of something new, or I'll remember exactly how I wanted things to go. Or I'll go, that's pretty good, but I still don't know what to do with this. So on to the next one, which is nice. It is nice that I have 5 things that I'm working on, because then I can kind of pick. And if one gets stalled, or if I come to a stalemate on one, then I can just go to another one.
Yeah.
Cool, kind of keeps things fresh.
That's cool. Yeah. You have multiple babies, and you can take care of your baby whenever you want.
Baby. It's just a baby.
Did you have the Tamagotchi?
No. I did not have a Tamagotchi. For a second, I was like, he said tatami wrong. Tatami is a stitch pattern.
Is it Tamagotchi? Tamagotchi?
No, it was, I don't know. I never had it. It was whatever you said.
But you know
it is a
I'm
You were
Tamagotchi,
right the
yeah.
first time.
Okay.
Yeah. I do know what you're talking about. I didn't have one. It was a little pet that you would feed, right?
Yeah. Dude,
And
mine
it could die,
died.
right? Yeah.
It could die. Bro, it could die. I was like, that's crazy. Who's going to take care of this guy? I didn't restart.
You have a real life Tamagotchi now.
I do.
It's a little white Tamagotchi. That's a little reverse racism, right? You got yourself a full white boy.
He's Asian.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
So we fucks with each other.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
it's been cool. I've been bonding with him a lot more of late. So
Nice. How old is he?
8?
Nice.
I think he's 8 now.
For the viewers, this is a dog, by the way.
His name is Morty.
Yeah.
So Morty.
Yeah, dogs are interesting, dude. They're weird little people.
Yeah, definitely. If you let them be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe start getting cool with Morty again. He's my pet, right?
Yeah.
He's a dog. But when I was first getting him, I was like, you're like a little person. And that appreciation for him had me fascinated. And the more I started taking care of him and all that stuff, it was more of a dog. And I do think that there's a blend for the appreciation. But when I'm... damn, getting confused. When I'm appreciative of him, like you're a little human, a little person, I'm more excited to talk to him. What made me get back to digging Morty? And it'll come.
You're talking about how you had recently started getting
Yeah,
closer with them.
yeah. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh, that's okay. For me, loneliness and heartbreak put me closer to technically my brother's dog, but I call him my beastie.
The blue one?
Yeah. Yeah, he fucks people up. It's not okay.
He does?
Yeah, he does not like people.
Oh, that's bad.
He's security. Like when people ask, like, do you have a dog? And I go, I have a security dog.
Mm.
Yeah, he's not really a pet.
Do you train him that way?
Technically, I guess unintentionally, I guess so. But
How do you... Interesting.
we just left him in the backyard. So full story. My dog's name was Ace, and he was a German Australian Shepherd, and I had him trained like I could walk him off leash. And
You gonna pass that joint?
oh yeah, thanks, appreciate it. Story time. I have the joint.
I have the joint. I have the joint. Now listen.
You must pass
I'm
that
sitting
bitch
here
before
watching
it
him
turns
like,
out.
come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You go.
Pass it over. Pass it over. Great. Now I forgot where it was.
You had a German Shepherd named Ace.
Yeah. I had a German Shepherd named Ace. I had him trained off leash. He was super good. And he was about 4 years old. And my brother brings home a little blue-nosed pitty. He had many names. At first, he was Dog. He was Little Puppers. Yeah.
That's a creative name right there.
Couldn't decide on anything. He was literally like the side. I could hold him in my palm, and his legs would just hang off the side, and his face would be on my front fingers.
That's so cute.
Yeah, super fucking cute dog. But I think we got him at like 6 weeks, which was way too fucking early.
Okay.
Like he needed to be with his mom for longer.
Oh yeah. I see.
Yeah, so he's a little dumb. But he was like crying all night. It was just really really loud and annoying. And my brother didn't want to deal with it, so he ended up putting him in my room. And he wouldn't stop crying until I picked him up and put him on the bed with me. And thinking back now, I'm like, okay, he was a little puppy and he was supposed to be with his mom and other pups. So what he ended up doing is he would sleep on my throat with his face on my face. So I would wake up with puppy drool all over my face.
That's funny.
It was very funny. And he snored as a puppy already.
Oh, wow.
He was wild. Fast forward to 3 months later. He's an outside dog now with my boy Ace. And one morning, I go to feed the dogs, and Bam runs over to the door. He's all excited. He's like, food time, yeah. And Ace just looks at me from the back wall of the backyard. And I'm like, Ace, come here. It's breakfast. And he's like, he just stares at me. And I was like, come here. And with his two front legs kind of like hops and pulls himself, and his back legs don't move. And I was like, no. Like, no. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. We were literally playing yesterday. Like, we went for a run yesterday. Like, everything's been good. He's had no pains. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So I go all the way to the wall, and I'm like pinching at his skin to try and get him to yelp to see if he feels anything. And he doesn't feel anything from like middle of his back down. So we take him into the vet, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him, and we end up putting him down. And after that, I kind of got shut down to pets because I was like a little distraught. This was like middle of sophomore year, and I got the dog middle of 7th grade. So, and to me, he was my best friend, right? He was my first dog. I trained him. I got him at 6 months, and then we put him down at 4. And I was, at the time, maybe like 15, and I didn't know better. And I was so sad and like couldn't really grasp the reality of what was going on. So I didn't go in with him when they put him down. So he was fucking alone. And then I was like, okay, well, my dog is fucking dead now, so I'm just gonna focus on school and soccer because that's what I do. And then instead of going, well, we have Bam, let me give him my attention. So he was just kind of in the backyard, and the only thing he knew was, okay, humans come outside and they give me food 3 times a day. So he grew up, and then when we would go outside to play with him, he would like want to fight us for dominance of the backyard. Like, this is my backyard. And then you would have to fight him first, and like pin him down to the ground, hold him down until he calmed down, and then he would like kind of play with you, and you'd be kind of cool. Years progressed, and then I separated from my last serious relationship, and there was about a year period of time, and then my brother was a little absent from my life, and then COVID happened, and he kind of got stuck in a different place, so I was just here alone, but the dog was in the backyard alone, and I went, okay, we're in the same boat. Maybe we need each other. So I went outside to like say what's up to him, and he was like, what's up? I was like, fuck. He charged me, and we fought, and I pinned him down, and then we played a little bit, and then that was like our relationship at first, and then he would stop fighting me, and he would just like see me, and his tail would actually wag, and he'd be like, oh, what's up, dude? Like, cool, you're here. We would play, and then if he was laying down, I wouldn't be able to walk up to him. He would just like run away. It was literally almost like trying to befriend a stray dog. I had to gain his trust, and it took a long time. Now I can cuddle with him, but like I'm the only one that could do that with him. Took a long time, and I was able to train him with some commands, but then he's gotten old, no more practice, and he's very stubborn. But I love the boy. He listens. He listens as much as I need him to, which is great.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
That is a good story.
Thanks. My experience with cats is not the same. Not at all. My experience with cats is they like to fuck me up. And at first I was like, I don't want to hurt the cats. Now I'm like, fucking bring it. Bite me, bitch.
Too many bites?
The first cat that I really experienced, no, hold hands. That was cute. The first cat I really experienced was in my last serious relationship, and thankfully that cat was declawed.
Nice.
She would have fucked me up, bro. Yo, that cat was like straight up love-hate relationship with me. My first interaction, I woke up to a fucking whack in the face. I was sleeping. I didn't do shit. That's why I was like, I didn't even bother you, bro. I was like, and fucking just, bah! Just one real fucking good one. I woke up and the cat's just like, bro, imagine you wake up and the cat's just sitting over you like, yes, right, bitch. Catch these fucking paws. And I was like, Tassie, what the fuck? What? So I pushed the fuck out the cat. I was like, God damn it.
Again?
Yeah. I was like, yo.
Okay. So like we're fighting. Okay.
That's what I thought. So I was like, all right, I see that cat. It's fucking hands on sight. I was like, fuck you. Fuck this cat.
And that sparked the hate, or you guys eventually made a love-hate?
That started the hate on my end. I was like, fuck this cat. I'm gonna kill this cat. And then I'm just like sitting there chilling, watching TV. The cat comes around the sofa and is looking at me. And I was like, you come up here, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, it's your move. And it hops up, walks over to me all smug like. And gets real close to me, and I was like, you gonna swat me. I know it. I was like, I'm fucking ready. I was like, my hand was strong. I was set, bro. I was fucking, I had the recoil on that bitch.
Was your girlfriend in the room at the time?
So the first time she had already left for work, so she didn't believe me. She's like, you're making shit up. The second time she was in the kitchen. And she came around, like, as she makes it to me, and this is the trippy part. She makes it to me, and I'm like this, I'm fucking ready to swing, and then the cat goes... And I was like,
you're not fucking slick, dude.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you. So I start petting the cat.
Okay.
Start petting the cat. And then she sits down. She goes, pop! I was like, what the fuck is going on? And you could hear it. It's like one of those where it's just like those solid little fucking bean smacks, right?
She got you. She
fucking
smacked you.
She fucking got me. And like the worst part was she started going like that, and I started petting her, and she like climbed her way up so that she was like up to here on me. So like she got into strike distance, right? And now my girl was like next to me at the time, and she heard that. She was like, what was that? And I was like, she fucking smacked me. And she was like, no, she didn't. And I was like, fuck you. I was like, this is some bullshit.
Damn.
So that was, yeah. So
that's hilarious.
Sometimes I would wake up and the cat would like I would wake up, the cat's like snuggled up with me, and I would see the cat and I'm like, oh, how cute. She's warming up to me. And the cat would fucking like wake up, see me, and be like, and then get out of my arms and fucking look at me like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then it would leave, and I'm like, the fuck is this? Doesn't make any sense. That was my first experience with the cat. Very, very pretty cat, though. After that, the next ones would just be like, and the owners would be like, stop that. And I'd be like, they usually do that? I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on. I'm like,
this is multiple cats?
Dog, I don't know. Yeah.
Multiple cats?
Yeah, dude.
You got marked forever, dude. Don't fuck with this guy. Oh, that's wild.
One cat, I was talking, it was a friend of mine, and it was a male cat, an orange cat, tabby cat, cute cat.
Mm-hmm.
Hops up into my lap, and I was like, "Oh, you gonna like me or we gonna fight?" So I already knew, like, this is, I've had interactions already, right?
Statistically speaking,
yeah. Track record ain't good here.
Yeah.
It looks at me, and then fucking lunged like that, and I grabbed. He was here. I grabbed him like that and fucking threw him. And my friend was like, "What'd you do?" And I was like, "He fucking lunged at me." She was like, "Really? But he's so sweet to everyone." And the cat like fucking came back at me, and I had a pillow. I grabbed it, and I was like, "Oh!" I fucking smacked the shit out of the cat. And then she grabbed the cat and took it out of the room. And she was like, "I don't know what. He doesn't do that."
That's wild.
And I was like, "Cats don't like me. I don't know." I don't fucking know, dude.
It's the facial hair, I think. I don't know.
Maybe, dude. I don't know, but that's hilarious to be marked by the cats.
It's not cool. I think it's because I'm so dog. They just know. They're like, this fucker is not an adversary.
That's funny.
It's the only thing I could think. I fucking love dogs. They're the shit. I always wanted to be a dog when I was a little kid. I was like, it'd be so cool. Every once in a while I think about it, I'd be like, man, I get to eat food, fucking sleep, and play. That sounds like a good life, dude.
Yeah, but then you're not like, sentient as much.
You don't think so?
I mean, I think they're smart, but like, I don't think they're as smart.
No, they're definitely not as smart, but I feel like the smarter you are, the more problems you might have. You're quite the intelligent and intellectual gentleman, but see, you ponder thoughts like racism and oppression and shit like that. Somebody that's pretty fucking dumb probably doesn't think about that, but they got some chocolate milk and that shit tastes good. So I bet you they're happy as fuck, you know?
That's why they say ignorance is bliss.
There you go.
True. There's this cat.
In the hat?
There's this cat, Henry. You know about Henry, right? I used to post him on my Instagram.
Yes.
That cat. So that cat's pretty cool.
Like, sounds familiar.
Randomly befriended him. He just came out one day. He's like, meow. I was like, "No, what's up, cat?" And it's a real cool relationship. There's something right here.
On the hat or
no,
on you?
On me.
Oh.
And yeah, now Henry and I are cool. I don't know. I kind of understand his movements, and I was like, okay, that's so cool. I really like that relationship between man and dog, or man and cat.
Yeah. Just man and animal in general.
Yeah, man and animal. Yeah,
it's unique.
You know something about myself? In talking about what I'm appreciative,
just move it forward. Move it forward with you if you want to lean forward.
In talking about what I'm appreciative, I sometimes lead with but I really need to be better. Voice rather than just an appreciation that I have, and I've noticed that I take on that personality every now and then. Because I was just about to talk about Morty, and I was like, oh, I just really need to appreciate him more. But I was like, no, I mean, I've been working on it and I like it, so it's something that's cool. Basically, how I say my words is something that I'm working on to influence how I feel about. Hey, I'm happy about it. I like it.
Mm-hmm. It's very similar to affirmations.
Yeah.
So I came across something that said spelling came from witches.
Yeah.
Because, and also literature, writing.
Yeah.
Was witchcraft because they were writing down spells to cast on people, and that's where the word spelling came from.
Yeah.
So every time you're writing something down on with pen and paper, or speaking into the universe, you're putting vibration and energy into existence. So that's why they say speak good about yourself, because you are bringing that into existence. And if you're constantly speaking on it, that saying of you can will it into existence is very true in some aspects. If you sit there and go, I will have a Lamborghini, I will have a Lamborghini, I will have a Lamborghini, but you never do anything to get you to those points of being able to have a Lamborghini, you'll never have the Lamborghini, right? But if you're moving forward with an intent and you're like, I will have a Lamborghini, but these are the steps that I need to take in order to get to the point that allows me to achieve that, but I will have this Lamborghini, that's willing it into existence, in my mind at least.
Yeah, no, so I phased out for a second, but now I'm back.
It happens.
I think that's very true, because I'll have a thought.
Please.
No, I'll have a thought, and it's literally like, this is about to go well, or I need this to happen, or I'm going to make this move when I see this person at work. And then whenever that move actually happens, like, I thought about that right before. I loaded myself up for that mindset. So Yeah. Yeah. You can write it down. You can put, I have a lot of videos that I make for like self-help. Actually, you inspired that for me, truthfully, because you told me about the video that you made and you're like, I don't like that person. And it's so cool, man. I have some where I'm like, oh, thank you, because that's exactly what I needed to hear today.
That's cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. But thank you.
Yeah. I have some where I'm like, I don't even like that guy right now. Like, I don't even like. You're not giving me the exact vibe that I want or that I am saying is the better one right now. But hey, that was still me.
Yeah.
That was still my effort, my feelings, and all of me who was saying that at that time. So I wonder who. Yeah, that was still me.
It was past you.
It was past me. Yeah.
Do you refresh them? You make like new ones for yourself?
Yeah, I did one like yesterday.
That's cool. What is like? What are they about? Are they all different, or is it kind of like those jars where it's like when you need motivation, take a note?
Yeah, I have. Okay, yeah, I have that.
Is it similar to that?
I have one of those.
That's cool.
Personal development. Some of them are like recountings of events where something significant to a project that I'm working on or a mindset that I'm developing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, let me talk about it, see if I can expand on it. Some of them are rants, like I did one the other day. Just recounting the experience and like getting some of the things out to really load my mind to like, am I mad? Yeah, I'm mad.
Yeah.
What I want to do about it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
that's really cool. It's almost like a video diary.
it's a video diary. Yeah.
So I'm thinking myself, it's like,
wait, you don't do that? You
no,
totally do that.
I write. Well, I guess technically,
I thought you did that.
The period of time that you're talking about, I did specifically for my last relationship. She went to basic military training, and prior to that, we were talking all the time, literally like daily. And she was like, "Do like an end of the day vlog and tell me about your day, and do that until you see me, and then give me the clips."
It's like Interstellar.
Yeah, kind of.
I got you.
And it sucked because at the end, I mean, I cried on some of them, which was really sad. I mean, we talked, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to let her know that I had gone through with it, and if she wanted to see it, she was like, "You cried? That's fucking sad. No, I don't want to see that. Delete it." And I was like, "Okay." So before I did, I saw a couple of clips. I like skimmed some of them, and I was like, ugh. Like I was cringed with myself. And then I deleted it. After that, I didn't really do very many video vlogs like that, nor like what you're describing. I like that a lot. What you're talking about is really cool because it builds yourself and also allows you to expand your own mind with yourself. You almost can have a conversation with yourself, especially let's say if you come across a video that was 2-3 months ago and it was just on an idea you had, but now how we're talking about you 2 to 3 months new on knowledge and different mindset, so you might view it differently. What I do is I journal. I'll talk about my day, the successes I've made, achievements I've done, how far I've came from the last time that I had wrote. Almost like if, basically telling my future self what we've been going through and how I'm feeling, and if I'm dealing with something, what I'm working through, or if I've come to a conclusion or some thought or whatever it may be. It's pretty much writing notes to my future self. So
yeah,
that's cool.
How long have you been thinking about it like that?
I think it's been maybe like 2.5 to 3 years, because The journal found me. So on this arm, back to the tattoos, right? Because that was your question. I have a dream catcher with the grizzly bear coming out of it, and the netting in the dream catcher. If you could see that pattern in the gray, that's the flower of life. And the reason I have that is because in order to achieve your dreams, sometimes you need to be grisly about it, which means making decisions that unfortunately makes people not happy. And sometimes it won't make you happy, but ultimately it's for your final goal's best interest. And the purpose of life is to pursue your dreams. I went on a date with a girl, and we went down to Huntington Beach, and there happened to be a what's it called? Not like a flea market, but like a little pop-up of people selling stuff. And there were these super dope
swap meet.
I guess kind of. I don't know. There's like a little vendors just right by the pier, and they had like jewelry, scarves, just like all handmade goods. It was super dope. Some dude had handcrafted pens, and the table that caught my attention was notebooks, because I was really into writing at the time, and I had just gotten a whole bunch of notebooks to write my features in. And I was thinking about journaling. I was like, I feel like I'm writing creatively. I should start writing about my life so that one day I just have a collection of my own personal logs. And I get drawn to this table that has these super dope lasered out designs on this piece of wood. And they're all like skulls and flames and like super cool for kids and stuff. And I'm about to walk away, and as soon as I step, the certain angle catches the corner of my eye, and I see the pattern, the flower of life. And I stopped, I looked at it, I looked at my arm, and I went back over, and I picked it up, and I was like, I looked around, nobody was at the stand, and I put it back, and as soon as I stepped away, I just hear, $20. And I was like, what? And a dude emerges from the crowd, and he goes, I was watching you, don't worry, I wouldn't let you leave without selling you. And I was like, what? And he was like, this is my stand. I make all of these. He goes, that book right there, it's $20. I was like, oh, no shit. He was like, yeah, you want it? You should take it. And I was like, I just so happen to have $20 in my wallet. And he goes, well, what's stopping you from taking it? I was like, I ride a motorcycle and I don't have anything to put it in. And he goes, are you with anybody? And I was like, yeah, I'm here on a date actually. And he goes, does she have a bag? I was like, yes. He goes, tell her to stick it in her bag. And I was like, done deal. Here's the 20 to go home with me. And then, I've been writing in that ever since. And the first page I put, thank you for finding me. Because that was the start of me journaling down and writing. And that's also helped me work through things in my life and process and get through emotions.
Yeah. That's dope. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that first thought is like a declaration for how you felt and something that you want to transform. And then that goal that you have in mind, you can revisit and say, am I working towards that? Oh, that's so cool. All these times I wrote checkpoints for, hey, how I was going towards it. And that's one of the main things that makes me, that goal that I have. And that's so, what? I've been thinking that for that long? Maybe I've been journaling it for a few years, but I've been thinking these things for that long, and I can go back like, I'm doing that. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, little timestamps.
Yeah.
I found that it's very beneficial to give yourself recognition for all of the things that you've done.
Yeah. Celebrating yourself.
Mm-hmm. What's the way that you celebrate yourself?
I'll congratulate myself on different milestones that I've been saying, hey, I wanted to achieve that, and I did it, or I wanted to work on that, and I did it, and that's dope. What? So I'll like give myself that grace and that excitement to prime myself even further to have some grace and excitement. What? Come on. that type of mindset. I'm more tripped out about things. I'm more excited for things. When I went to Hamilton.
I saw that. That was recently, no?
Yeah, man.
Like what, a week or two at most, right?
2.5 weeks ago.
Okay.
When I went, I was like, let's fucking go. Come on. And then we were about to complain about something, and I'm like, no, dude, we're at Hamilton. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's more of like just optimistic. What? Optimistic and excited. And I like that because it's time to lock in what I've done and appreciate what I've done. And I would say the biggest thing that I do right now is exercise. I'm very consistent with that.
Dude.
So that's...
You look like a Super Saiyan, by the way.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. And when I do that, I'm like, okay, hey, that's so cool. That's something to be happy about. Give yourself some happiness about that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, past self. I appreciate it. I will.
It's a delayed gratitude and knowing that putting in the effort is going to get you somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, with all the work that you do, because you do a lot, do you feel the same way?
I had to slow myself down recently and really evaluate where I was, because the goal that I have envisioned, manifested, and dreamed and am willing currently is far down the road.
Is that the creative studio thing you were talking about?
Yes. So with that, I know how long I have to get there, so it's really easy to just get stuck with head down and we're heading there, instead of peeking my head up and looking at where I'm at. Because what I have done is gone, okay, check. Cool, we're on time to hit the 5-year mark of where we should be.
Yeah.
Which is great, but I'm also not going, wow, I've checked all these things to make it to the 5-year point on time. So that's actually something that was recent as well.
That's like super appreciation.
Yeah. I had to look up and go, okay, I might feel like I'm barely keeping up in this race, or I'm not exactly where I want to be, or whatever my thought might be during that time. But then I look at what I have and the direction things are going and where I'm at right now, and it's a beautiful place. And it's like, I was saying this probably about 6 months to a year ago. If a 13-year-old me were to meet me, he'd probably think I'm the coolest motherfucker alive. And that makes me very, very happy, because one thing I did start working to do is to be the coolest person that 13-year-old me could ever meet.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit.
I say that's pretty good advice for anybody to work towards happiness, unless you didn't really know. Like, if you had a troubled childhood and 13-year-old you was a sad kid, you might have to just, like, you have to do the work to get through those traumas and find your inner child. But essentially, like, make your inner child happy and you'll live a happy life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might have to scream, let the armor titans or the colossal titans.
You could do it. You did it last time. It was great. It's still one of my favorite clips.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh.
My inner child. I had a flash to. I've been on reformative thought for a while. Reformative, like African American, mad for a minute. No, but it used to be. What was it? That's interesting. I don't remember if I was mad and disliked white people and racism as much, or if I had something that developed. What did you say? Head down, 13-year-old you. But I do remember,
yeah.
14-year-old me with some of the books that I wanted to write and some of the things that I wanted to do. And now I'm hearing other people talk about that. Like, and there's this dude on YouTube, FD Signifier, very smart guy, and how he's connecting dots of how African Americans are affected in America. I was like, I remember thinking that at the same time. Rap, culture, media, and how things are depicted, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so cool that at 14 I was having these ideas, and it's out there. It's out there. It is something that I have to cultivate even more so if I want to be a part of that space.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely out there. There's definitely people who listen to them like, okay, that's tight. Cool. So when I come on the podcast talking about Jeffrey Dahmer and connecting those dots, there is somebody who's going to even take that further, which makes me want to actually just get as good at this type of knowledge, because there's people who take that even further. And yeah, it just feels good to contribute to that space, so we find the best solution for people who still got to go through life.
You're a unique human. It takes a unique individual to care to an extent that you want to make a difference for other people's lives. Because most of what you're working towards on that topic specifically is helping a grand mass of people that it's not going to make your life better by doing that. If anything, it's going to make your life harder or worse. Like, it'll put you through scrutiny. It's a lot of heavy lifting on your end, where you could very easily just go, that sucks for them, but you know what? I can speak very well and I'm very smart, so I can make myself very successful and make my life very easy. But you guys are still going to be stuck there. So, yeah. Very, very, very selfless of you. I think, at least.
Thank you. You know, one of the things that I've been thinking of late is that I would like to increase my comfort by increasing my circle to have ideas that I think that are best circulated.
What do you mean?
That I mean that the selfless aspect of it, like wanting to help people, is influenced by the fact that I would like to say we're thinking this way. Sure, be a free thinker. Yeah, have all of that. But if our forms of expression are in favor of things that are malignant to a certain group of people, I know I'm beating a dead horse. But that's a fucked up thought. I would like to change that. So there's the the graciousness of my why I'm doing this is more selfish, because I just want to create more spaces where, like, nah, bro, that's not okay.
Yeah.
We should not be cool with your racist grandfather. We should all be sort of mad about this. And I want this to be mine. I want to have said, yeah. Maybe no, not like that. No, excuse me. But I want us to be happy about that disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that was.
If you were on the opposite side of the scenario, and let's say you had very racist parents, you were white man, what would your first step to try and change their perspective on life be?
If I were trying to change my racist parents' perspective?
Yes.
That's a good question. I would, if I still had a similar mind to what I have right now.
Mm-hmm. You have all of the knowledge. You're just poofed into a different scenario.
I would take more opportunities to challenge them on their viewpoint. And if they're like strict, like legit racist, and I'm still like, I learned everything that I learned to, like, no, people should be appreciative. Humans should be humans, and we're not going to think we're better than a certain group of people simply because of our skin.
Yeah.
And if they were like that, I can't fuck with them. I can't see a reason to set that aside and say, oh, you're still a good, decent human being, because I have now experiences in my life, bigger and smaller, where I'm like, oh, I don't want to fuck with you. Not that you should not exist, but I don't like you. And I have other ones where I'm like, oh, the trauma that you inflict on people is so damaging, or it can at least be so damaging to me due to the way that I am sensitive and calibrated. It can be so damaging to me that I should not do this. It's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt my psyche, my ego. Sure, I can get better, but I can also just not want to be near that fucking person who might cause that. Jesus, lost my point. Weed. Weed. Why are we talking about this? What makes me? Oh, how could I say something to the white person?
To your white parents.
To my white parents.
Not just the white person.
The white
Imagine
parents.
you were a white man. You have all the knowledge you have right now, but you grew up white, and you were in the South, and you have racist parents.
I can't be near them. I would try to change them, and if they wanted to practice their ways, I would not associate with them.
Yeah. What would be like?
The thing
what
I
would you
could
try
say
and do to kind of like
change them?
Yeah. Other than just challenging their beliefs.
I would talk about the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. I would talk about the fact that I would try to bring up the history and how things were created this way, and how our mindset of superiority and how we have been raised in a culture of superiority is not really true. Because when I yield to my dad, it's a conscious yield that I give you, but I can easily take it away. I'm a white person. This is my white dad. When I yield to you, dad, or if your wife yields to you in some form or fashion because I like you and I want to appreciate you, I can still do that consciously. If you force me into do that, because we've seen hierarchies of what happens when they force, you're going to get some resistance. But if we love each other in a nice way, then we're going to be able to speak the same language. So if you're the dominant one and I'm yielding to you, just know it's just because I want to fucking do this.
Yeah.
Now, these people who don't look like us have been subjected and forced to yield to us, and that's weird. That's not normal. But if the anger that they feel is because they have been legitimately put into spots where it's not okay, fuck the people, fuck the Africans who were contributing to slavery too. Fuck anybody who, that's all bad. But the history that we're telling ourselves of how we're better than these people, like we're not. And if you truly think that you are because of all of that evil shit that you know you would not like happen to me, your son, or me, your daughter, we gotta say that's fucked up. And if you can't see that, and you want me to still be a part of this history, I'm not speaking to you. Family's gonna probably keep be a factor, and like we're connected. That's just family. I'm understanding that now. You can spit on the floor for the blood, whatever, but that's still family. But at the same time, if you inflict that much trauma on me because we're not gonna get along, or if you have those views, and now that I'm understanding, like, oh, you have those views, okay, I don't have to like you. We're not gonna get along. I could not see him.
Makes a lot of sense. Everything that you said resonates. There's a couple points where I had jokes pop in my head where you were like, no, they're not better than anybody or something like that. I was like, NBA and NFL prove a lot different.
I don't even know about that one, man. I don't know about the because some evidence says that there is no difference in humans, but then I don't know. There's
a difference in genetics for sure.
There is a difference in genetics.
Now, this might sound bad, but do you think that from the years of slavery, all of the physical labor that had to be done by African Americans, because we're adaptable humans, right, then bred larger and stronger African Americans? Because you guys are just inherently buff. First of all,
Well,
you just look like superheroes with a little effort. Some of y'all, not all y'all, right? Some, but for the most part, it is kind of just predominantly African American people that are like that. Which is why I say if you look at NBA and you look at NFL, a lot of the best players are African American. They're taller, they're faster, they have great muscle structure. I think you can't really do anything about genetics. Like I'm 5'8", I stopped growing there. I'm not gonna be an NBA player. You know, my parents don't pass 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just not in the code for Mexicans. It's just not. So when you go to that level, I guess in an athletic sense, I could say that, you know, some are better. That's why we do the Olympics, right? To prove it.
That some people are better than other people.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that how the Olympics works? Is that then they're like, hey, instead of fighting each other, we'll just have our best people fight your best people.
Yeah.
Do sport.
I think that'd be pretty lit. Just go straight UFC it, you know? If that were the case, we'd actually lose. Russia would take over everything. I changed my mind. I take that back. We should not UFC it at all. We should pick a different one. We should do cornhole.
I do think
for sure.
I do think mixed martial arts is
it is
for not the next one, but the one after.
I know they've done like taekwondo or judo or some shit like that before in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Olympics is literally to prove like, oh, we have the best genetics in our country.
Yeah.
Because we can run the fastest or jump the fastest or fucking whatever.
Yeah. You know what, man? Okay, so I've heard of research that says that there's no genetic difference. But at the same time, I can definitely see cultures where those things happen.
Bro,
Samoans.
They're massive.
And it's like, okay, hey, you can blame that on the food they eat. But then also genetics is a thing. So how many generations does it take for a genetic expression? Well, no, one, because if your mom had high blood sugar, you have a high chance of having high blood sugar, right? So these things run in our genetics. And now they're even talking about things like feelings that your parents might have felt will influence that. So if we can go that deep, we can probably go that shallow. It's kind of like the introduction to saying, yeah, black people are possibly strong from being in slavery for such a long time. Yes.
I do also think that's a bit of confirmation bias, though, because when when slaves were originally being picked, there was probably going to be a bias towards larger, stronger people, and then the ones that did come across, most of the ones that are going to survive are going to be the bigger, stronger ones that are capable of keeping up with all the backbreaking work.
Mm-hmm.
So it is sort of like, you know, evolution playing out, selection of the fittest ones for that environment. So it would lead to...
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up in a way, but...
If you think about it, that's
sort of like
that's meddling with evolution.
Almost. Yeah, it's like artificial selection. Sort of like, I mean, it sounds bad, selection. But like what they do with animals, you know? So like cattle or...
That's fucked up.
It sounds bad, and it is bad.
It does sound bad.
But
it doesn't. Yes.
It makes sense.
Sorry, go on.
But it does make sense if we can track how long it takes for those things, and if that fucking paper that I heard about is not valid at all. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, genetics is a thing. Yeah.
I was learning about chromosomes and whatnot from my aunt today. And I found out that there is
the mom of your cousin, the one that we know, or a different aunt.
Different aunt.
Okay.
Yeah. Different aunt, different chromosome issue. Thank you.
Not the extra chromosome, homie.
No, actually, more so a lack of. So there is
chromosomal deletion.
Yeah. But that can be passed down through, like, from a mom to her daughter, but not from a mom to her son, which is really interesting. And when part of the chromosome is missing, what happens is it doesn't have the proper DNA coding to develop all of the internal organs properly.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's often complications in the pregnancy or after delivery.
Damn.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And then I don't know if this fact is true or not, but I know on the side of Down syndrome, which is having an extra chromosome, females with Down syndrome can have kids, but it's a 50-50 chance that the kid will have Down syndrome or will be okay. And then if it's a male with Down syndrome, I believe they are completely sterile.
So that has to be something in the brain, right?
I have no idea. I'm not smart enough for that. I haven't done enough research. But you know what? My cousin is smarter than me, and he does have Down syndrome. I don't think he knows on that end, though. But he is smarter than me. Motherfucker knew calculus. Or knows calculus because he's still alive.
Is his Down syndrome apparent?
Very. Yeah, like he has the speech of a third grader, and he stutters.
He apparently sounds like Beavis and Butthead.
When he laughs.
He talks like them. Like when he's excited.
Yeah.
Have you told Emon about the Vegas trip?
I have not. So last time I saw him, he was 22 years old, and it was a couple months after my accident. And I had not gotten my prosthetic yet, and I was in a wheelchair in Vegas. And I'd been pushed around by my dad and my aunt, and my cousin asked my aunt, he goes, can I push Eric? Like that. Like that's legitimately how he speaks. It don't, like sometimes it looks like it hurts for him to speak, but he also has aggressive autism. So my aunt was like, oh no, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, let him push me. What's the worst that happens? And she's like, I don't know. I was like, fine, let him push me. So he starts pushing me. He goes, I can push you. I'm like, yeah, cool, fucking whatever. So fast forward to later that day, we're in a casino, and I had already played the money that I wanted to play that day. So I'm just sitting by my pops. He's playing, my aunt's chilling there. I'm on my phone. I have a pen. So I'm just fucking like, I stopped. As soon as I got out of the hospital, I got off of all of my prescriptions because they were giving me all opioids for pain, and I like pooping, and I also did not want to have opioids in my body. Opioids constipate you, if you didn't know. So I would just smoke to take the pain away as much as I could. So I'm sitting there high as shit in a casino, just minding my business, and all of a sudden, I start going, and we're cooking, bro. And then I hear, I can push you. And I was like, shit, bro, you sure can. Let's fucking go. So we're cooking down the fucking aisles of the casino. We're hooking turns. I'm like coming up on one wheel. I'm like, oh, shit. And I see people's faces like, ugh. And then it clicks in my mind. I'm like, oh, they're seeing a dude with Down syndrome pushing a dude with no foot that looks like a homeless guy through the casino.
That's hilarious.
Because at the time, I had a fucking big old beard.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I was just dressed in sweatpants, fucking hoodie, beanie,
full hobo.
You also probably looked all gaunt and like tired.
Bro, I was just
recovery.
Oh, my God.
So... just cooking through a casino, getting pushed by my Downs cousin. Shout out to Adrian. He's a good dude. So that was a good time. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, he laughs awesome. Like Beavis and Butthead. Yeah,
I love that story.
It's a good story. I have my other favorite one. This is my favorite 2-footed story with him. I was 19. We had just arrived. He was excited to see me. I was like, what's up, dude? Hey, how you been? What grade you in? He's like, I'm a senior in high school. I was like, fucking dope, dude. He was like, can you help me with my homework? And I was like, what is it? He goes, math. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm pretty good at math. I'm sure I can help you. I was like, bring me your homework. Let me see what you need. That shit had letters, numbers. That shit says sign over conspiracy, and fucking unicorns and griffins on it, bro.
Oh my God.
I say, Adrian, what math are you in? He goes, calculus. And I, like, immediately I knew. I was like, you fuck. And I went, dude, I can't help you with this. I was like, I never took calculus. And he goes, I'm smarter than you. I was like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
You talk to him like that?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I go, yeah. Because the one time I did roast him, this was back in my adolescent year. Because he's, as far as age goes, he's the closest to me on the younger side of the male cousins from that side of the family. So, like, as a kid, I would try and play with him, but he'd always roasted me since I was a young kid. But the one time I fucking roasted him back, my aunt heard and was like, you don't fucking say that. This is that. He has a disability and bullshit. And then she went and talked shit to my dad because my dad's her younger brother. And then my dad talked shit to me.
Oh, man.
And so I got it double. He was like, why you gotta do that shit? Because then I got some shit for it. Don't do that shit. And I was like, man.
Yeah.
So
no more roasting him.
I don't roast him. It would be very easy to, though. Fuck
I
him.
told Eric his comeback should have been, I didn't know Walmart greeters needed to know calculate.
It's fucking savage, isn't it?
That is horrible. Diabolical. But that's actually pretty cute. The relationship. You guys talking shit. Shut up.
He's
Shut
cool.
up. But
I just fucking murk his ass in video games.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's got a Wii that he's like, I'm so fucking good. And I'm like, you want to see good?
Yeah.
I fucking show you good.
I used to play with kids, Smash Bros. With some kids, and
Bruh.
they're like, Mr. Emon, you're so good. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to let you guys win. I'm not doing that, no.
That's not what we do here. You're gonna know what failure is.
Yeah, you're gonna lose.
These hands rated E for everyone, kids. You about to catch them.
Keep hitting this microphone.
That's okay. Well, your headphone cable is wrapped on it. There you go.
It's probably an influence.
A little bit. A little bit. Speaking of influence, what's your favorite thing to be under the influence?
Of this day, weed.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You know, that was actually a rhetorical question. It was more of a humorous one, but, you know, it would have been cool if you incarcerated yourself. Wouldn't have been.
That was one of two acceptable answers, basically.
Actually, yeah. Well, now that you ask. You ever heard of PCP?
Ooh, I heard that's what they put in dead people.
Now that you ask, speaking of black stereotypes, got some rocks in my car.
I was about to say, you like to collect rocks? Got some you might like.
That's funny. That's actually funny.
Isn't PCP some shit that's used for dead people in?
I don't know anything about.
Okay,
I'm just learning about drugs today, bro. That nicotine. I don't know anything else.
Matter of fact, I'm blind.
Yeah, I haven't really done much drugs of late. I think the last thing I did was, I mean, I guess people see this, they see it. Acid, and yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do acid for a little while, bro. I'm afraid. I'm cautious. Yeah,
afraid of?
I heard somebody say after you do acid,
too many times.
Too many times, you lose a part of your brain.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, okay, I can see that happening. And I was there on that trip, bro, and I was like, oh, this ain't gonna be good. I was out having a pretty good time at a live music show, and then I took some acid because I took some the week before. I think I saw you when we were on the beach.
Yeah,
that was a great time.
I'm pretty sure I remember exactly this time, and I distinctly remember it because when I first saw you, you never said hello to me like this before. But the first thing you said, you go, you look cool as fuck, and I was like, fixing my jacket. I was like, fucking thank you. Yeah, I'm doing you look cool. Yeah, thank you. I fucking tried. I put this outfit on. I was like, I look cool.
Fucking gassed you up for the rest of the day or what?
For life. It pops into mind every once in a while where Emon was like, man, you look cool as fuck. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you look fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Distinctly remember that.
That's
Anyways,
awesome.
So yeah, that time at the beach.
So the time at the beach was dope. Okay, I was high as fuck, and then there was a girl there, and fuck the time at the beach. Some shit happened, but it was a good acid experience.
Yes.
Shortly after that, I did acid again, and as I'm trying to put everything together, I'm with another girl at this time, and she's very into me, but I can tell it's only sexual, and I'm like trying to feel the earth and shit. I'm trying to appreciate life, and this feels greedy, bro. This feels like this would be I'm cool. So I was like, she's like, do you want to have some fun? I was like, huh? Yeah, well. And then like we're laying down. No, I think she said this after. Actually, she said that after. But I was like, hey, I feel like we would have really good sex, but like, I'm just really trying to connect with some shit. Like I'm just trying to be here, listen to some music. That's all. Yeah. And I turned her on, and so I was like, okay, cool.
She was like, all I heard was connect, pull it the fuck out.
But nothing happened. I didn't end up being with that girl that day.
The next day, however.
The next day. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, but at that same trip with the acid, I remember just a feeling inside my body happening. I was like, oh, I think I've done this too many times. I think I've done the acid. And after that, I was like, oh, hey, I'm down to deal with the battle. Like if there's a bad trip that I'm going to, because I never really had a bad trip. Yeah. But I was like, I'm down to deal with I don't know, I'm kind of thinking a lot. Mm-hmm. I'll deal with it. But that one was like, if I replay thoughts in my head, I was like, huh, that's interesting. I think that might have contributed to a little trauma. Or I think that might have inspired it. Okay, well, whatever. Maybe not. So it's like a flashback of like, oh, that's probably when I got like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that kind of makes me cautious on acid.
I see. Yeah. I know acid is one of the ones that can trigger schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not cool. That's not a selling point at all.
That's some scary shit.
Yeah. I like that you said there's no such thing as a bad trip, though. Or you don't think there's such thing as a bad trip, though, because I believe that, air quotes, bad trips is your mind bringing up past either repressed issues or traumas or things that you need to work through in order to progress in life. Mm-hmm. But people call it bad because it can be scary. They're trauma for a reason, you know?
Yeah, especially with acid, because you can have those, I haven't even thought about that in a minute, but those like internal experiences. You go out to the fucking desert, you're doing ayahuasca, right? And then like, oh, I had to deal with all of that, but as soon as I got through it, I felt better. Mm-hmm. Honestly, sometimes after doing drugs like that, I do feel better, like mentally, and then like seeing the world more clear.
Yeah, it's almost like there is a block in your mental river, and you weren't able to move it.
The chakras.
Yes. I always think of the clip from Avatar.
Yeah.
He says like still water gets murky or something like that, so you need to clear out the debris.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, and it's usually a question I ask when I'm on dates because it gives me a good gauge of the person's psyche, and I feel like that's important when you're going into a partnership with somebody. But it's always interesting to know because you seem like somebody that's very sure of themselves and you know yourself pretty well. The question is very simple: is who is Emon?
I'm a lot of things. I'm a compilation of experiences. I'm me. Emon is a person who likes anime, a reader, a writer, an expressive, intrigued person. He likes romance, loves people, loves understanding people. Likes adventure. And likes learning new things that helps him appreciate people. Emon is a cool motherfucker.
Sure fucking is.
On that note, probably gonna wrap up pretty soon.
That's perfect. I love it. Then I have one final question. I think I asked it to you last time. It was at the end of pianos, but this is a little bit more intimate, so I'm sure I'll get something extra special. During your period of time on this earth, what's something that you've learned that's helped you live a better life?
People can't read your mind. At the end of the day, they cannot read your mind. What they can do is read your body. They can vibrate from how your mind is giving you feedback, but they can never read your mind. So talk. So express yourself. So find answers that you want, that you like, and express yourself. Because people can't read your mind, bro. But you can join in their world, see what they like. And your mind can become ours. And it sounds corny, but it's really, really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, I like that. That's really cool. Dude, you have an amazing mind. You're an amazing person. I absolutely love where your mental is, and I appreciate every time we get to sit down and share headspace like this. Thanks for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure and very much needed sit down. It's been too long.
You're very smart, very powerful, very cool guy, Eric.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Actually.
Thank you.
But you are.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Love you, dude.
Love you too.
Thanks. Good night, everybody.